Hello everyone, good morning. This is your host Chaudhry from Kinar Venture. I welcome all of you to our today's webinar regarding basics of foreign direct investment in Canada. I would like to introduce and give some basics and some intro about Kinar. In this day and age, pre-investors are scouting for blend of business and immigration services that give long-standing success to stimulate their insatiable ambition. The quest actually ends here when Kinar has stayed one step ahead of others by encouraging foreign direct investment and has put together a set of solutions of the business acquisition process and route to permanent residence of Canada. So the Kinar has embraced diversified, integrated operational, financial, and legal components of business planning, transaction advisory, due diligence, and immigration application processing. So, in today's webinar, this webinar is actually all about this foreign direct investment Canada. So, we shall be discussing the important and essential issues a foreign investor in Canada should know, including the agenda includes the Canadian business prospects for foreignpreneurs and finding business opportunities, expediting business immigration in Canada, the essentials of business immigration, and the services offered in business acquisition and immigration. I would like to introduce our panelists, Mr. Rizwan Chaudhry, business advisor, and Mr. Nitin Chadha, immigration consultant. How are you both,
Yeah,
Rizwan?
very good. Hi, everybody. Welcome all the hosts.
Hi everybody, welcome everyone to this webinar.
Thank you. Just give me a 2-minute brief about both of our consultants. Rizwan is a Canadian entrepreneur engaged for the last 20 years in commercially viable ventures, including commercial real estate development projects, franchising and business sales and purchase. Kenar is his brainchild with an entourage of unique products and services that makes influential changes in the life of people. Rizwan is a certified international property specialist. He's a certified business intermediary. He's a certified franchise consultant. He's also a licensed realtor in British Columbia and Ontario. About Nitin Chadha, our immigration consultant. Nitin is an experienced entrepreneur. He's a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. He's a licensed realtor registered in BC, and he's a mortgage broker with Dominion Lending Hub. And he's also an insurance advisor with the Insurance Council of British Columbia. So that's a brief intro about Kinar, about our webinar, and about our panelists. So let's move ahead, and we would be moving. Like I will be asking some questions with our panelists, and we will move ahead step by step and question by question. So my first question is with Rizwan that can you please brief us about the Canadian business prospect, the Canadian business ecosystem, because the Canada is itself is a brand, and this webinar is all about the foreign direct investment in Canada. So how would you like to introduce Canada? Because we have attendees from all over the world right now, from Far East Asia, from South Asia, from Middle East. So can you please brief us about the Canadian business prospect and the business ecosystem?
Welcome, everybody. Rizwan here. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to explain and talk a little bit about Canada. Canada is, since you said Umesh, Canada by itself is a brand. And everybody knows about Canada. Very small population of 38 million people living in a second or third largest country in the world, 10th biggest economy of the world, high GDP, a lot of securitization, best life, strong medical system, strong education system. They have a multicultural country. A lot of people live together. Strong political stability here. environmental friendly, strong governance system, you name it. That's why it's become a brand. Um, it's and a lot of attributes from for the citizens. Since I've been studied in Europe and lived in US, but most of my life in Canada because as a citizen, you like even you're a business entrepreneur or a student or an employee, has a lot of stability in this country. Um, and then government is actually supporting a lot to their citizens in all aspects. The major part normally I tell people about Canada is, um, it's we don't have a taxation system. Um, the government is not looking is for your taxes. What exactly government is looking for? We have a wealth redistribution system, and it's a lot of opportunity gap there, um, because we collect the wealth and we distribute amongst the citizen of Canada. So a very strong, business opportunity, a very strong country, very strong, uh, economy here. Not too fast like US, but very strong, very stable. What do you think, Nathan? Am I right?
Yes, yes, you are right. Yes, and as you have already rightly said that Canada itself is a brand, and this holds true in immigration also.
Oh,
And
that's great. That's great. Yeah, thank you. So, okay, now as you said, Rizwan, that the government is, they are very supportive. So, as you know, this webinar, we are catering investors from all over the world, and this is all about the business investment. So, how would you like to define and how the Canadian government actually facilitate did their business community, especially in these days of pandemic and before pandemic, how do they support their business community? Can you please, explain, shed some light on this aspect also?
Actually, very, very intelligent question, and I didn't expect that question will come up. But um, believe me, like I live in Canada more than 22 years, and then when this pandemic happened, working as a international property specialist, dealing with different investors across the globe, the people are hesitating putting money into Canada or parking their capital into Canada, and then everything is hold off. Where they're gonna go. You know, but believe me, like in my life of 22 years, the government stepped up and came up with like extraordinary. I was not expecting that. Believe me, like as like forget about the individual or citizen. There are a lot of support in a regular basis. They have a lot of support in Canada. I explained earlier because they have a wealth redistribution system. In Canada, believe me, the people make zero money, they make minimum $3,000. The people, the minimum income of the Canadian is minimum $3,000 each family of two. So by come back to pandemic. In pandemic, like, do you believe that the government came up and then a revenue agency of Canada, CCRA, we call it Canadian Revenue, Canada Revenue Agency, came up and said, you know what, business people, here is 75% of your wage subsidy. If you have 15, 20 employees, do not let them go. We'll pay you 75% of their wage. And that's what had happened. And then the government came up and say, you know what, if you are a lease of $10,000, a store or a warehouse or a shop or a showroom or any business you have it, okay, here is a 75% of the rental assistance. So government is paying rental assistance or rental subsidy, we call it. And then government pays like $60,000 to a very small business. Just you need a business number, no other criteria, no questioning. And they pay $60,000 to each business, interest-free loan, and then which is $20,000 is forgivable if you pay in 2 years. And then like Export Development of Canada, they have many programs, leverages, training programs in a regular basis. Government of Canada has a small business loans which only gives you for 25% of security. Doesn't matter whatever your credit based on. So in pandemic, that actually I'm very much convinced that it's a fortunate people who lives in Canada, and the fortunate people are thinking to come to Canada is definitely a very support. What do you think, Nathan, about that?
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, in pandemic, we can say that they have opened the gates for everybody. For individuals also, they are giving benefits in the name of relief. They are giving CERB, like emergency relief funds. Then they are supporting like anything to the business people. Like you already spoken about the wage subsidies, the rental, and they're giving you investment. They are basically giving you interest-free loans also. The main idea behind is that they don't want the businesses to slow down, to actually shut down, or they just want that you should go on, and any support required, government is ready to give.
No doubt on it. And believe me, not on only on a federal government level. There was a regional pilot programs, there's a provincial programs, there was a grants from the city, there's a grants from municipalities, there's a non-profit grants, there's a federal government loans, there's a export development programs, there's a banks lending programs and leverages and products. Like I can actually with the confidence say that there is no country in the world facilitate their business people the way the Canada handled their business community.
Okay, that's great. So okay, so that's great. So as we all know that the Canadian economy is stable and the political environment is also very stable. So this is what actually uh, both of these factors are very important when investors from all over the world basically they plan to make investment in any foreign soil. So, but why at first place the Canadian government is looking to bring foreign entrepreneurs from all over the world? Why would they want this?
Actually, Nathan, as immigration specialist, he can give a better than me. But as my experience, I can only tell like Ms. Like in Canada, what is happening is the baby boomers are the one who owns the businesses. We're talking the small businesses. Um, so the baby boomers are retiring, and then on because it's a wide country, they have a lot of urban and rural areas with a very lot of distance apart, and a lot of migration amongst the communities. So baby boomers are retiring, and then like nobody's there to pick up their businesses. The businesses are closing down. That was the first reason, like 25 years ago, the Canadian government started up this business program, and then it refines, and then the federal government, and then every province started up, and every province has their specialized programs to populate their areas and to bring the economy and make it very, very strong and create a more opportunity gap because they are bringing around 300,000 to 400,000 people. Am I right, Nathan?
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah,
400,000 a year.
yeah, so they are bringing a lot of lot of employees or technical staff or clerical staff or individuals for their career development for an opportunity. So where are they going to work? Like I remember like when I migrated 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So like there was like a lot of intellect people are coming, like doctors and engineers and IT specialists, but they don't have a jobs. So how are they going to create a jobs? Then the government realized that what we need a business people. The business people will establish the business and then they hire the employee. That's why Nathan, in all the program, what condition they have? Invest the money, buy the business, and hire a Canadian.
Hire a Canadian. Basically, they are not looking for only investment. They are looking for people who already who already have their experience in entrepreneurship or either a top management level in a company, so that they already know their business. So they want people who have expertise, and then they come here with the investment, whatever investment the programs have, and then they have to start their business, and within a span of say 1 year to 2 years, they have to hire a Canadian or PR in their business. So basic motive behind is that you have to have a business knowledge, plus you have a will to do business here in Canada and help create.
Actually, believe me or not, like as a commercial investment member, when we do commercial investment analysis, like the leverage on a financial leverage, it's available in Canada, very easy. And then for the business, for the trade, for the property, for acquisitions, for you name it. So and then like with the 20-25% of your wealth you can acquire 100%. So the government motive is not an investment you bringing because this is your net worth. What they want you to migrate here completely, so you bring your wealth with you, so they don't want your ties there and you're half in and half out. So what they want you to buy the equity in the business, so you make sure you're 100% here and you put your heart and effort there, you put your your whole career towards it, and then generate the revenue, feed your family, and the country will grow as well. So that was the reason they initiated that business programs, by the way.
That's great. So my next question is with Nitin, especially. See, Nitin, as Rizwan said, as you said, that the Canadian government is actually, inclined toward business immigrants, the business investment. But when we see most of the time, these immigration consultants, they usually work with clients who are looking for express entries, who are looking for job offers, LMI, and other options other than business opportunities, business investment programs. So, but as you guys said, this seems like an untapped area that has not been utilized at its full potential as compared to the applicants who are looking to come on express visa entry programs or other programs, individual programs. If you compare with the business immigration, then business seems to be an untapped and not fully utilized area. So seeing all this, saying all that, how would you give us some basics, some essentials about business immigration? How would you like our attendees to know the basics of business immigration?
Like it was discussed earlier also, Canada is in dire need of people to immigrate to Canada. With an estimate of around 400,000 people per year in next 3 years, Government of Canada has actually planned to immigrate. So there are 60 plus programs running, which include all this skilled workers, non-skilled workers, and entrepreneur also. So entrepreneur fraternity is part of those programs only. So yes, you have rightly said that this area is untapped because most of the consultants basically are running towards the individual programs. Maybe there are 2-3 reasons for that. Can be 2-3 reasons for that. One, it's easier. Second, they don't have any knowledge about the business, how business is being done in Canada. So yes, you have to have some knowledge of business also. Then only you can actually consult people about business visa. So they can be the second reason. And third reason is that business visa, basically the steps are such that people actually need people like realtors, and then the business plan makers, then financial institutions. So it is actually a program which needs 2, 3, 4 more people to actually combine together, and then only the program works. So maybe some of the consultants, they don't have such you can say facilities with them, and they don't want to tie up with others. So maybe these can be the reasons why these people are actually not running towards or not actually tapping this business visa program. But business visa program in itself is a very good program. The basic idea behind this program is that Canada need people who come with, like Mr. Rizwan said, that come with an idea, come with a business, come with experience and an investment to Canada. They come here, they do their business, they generate wealth for them and for the country, plus they create employment opportunities as well. So that is what actually the idea behind this. So basically, they are not looking only for investment, but they're looking for the expertise. They also looking for the will to come here and to be here only. So they are looking for actually all these things, not only investment part. So yes, we need actually people with actually good experience and a will to come in Canada and perform here. So yes, this is actually idea behind the business essentials. Main basically is one, they should have at least 2 years of experience in top management or entrepreneurial experience in last 5 years. This is the first criteria in almost all the programs. And second is a net worth which can be from like $400,000, and the upper limit is not there. There are a number of programs running. Some are federal government programs, and each province also are running their own entrepreneur programs with some basic requirements, like an investment of around $200,000 to start with, and the upper limit you can go anywhere. Based depend upon profile of each and every individual, their actually experience, their ability, their actually plan to come to Canada with business. So that can depend. That depends on person to person, but the minimum limit is 200,000 with the investment, and then a net worth of 400,000 is the minimum. The upper limit, it depends on the person to person. So that this is the basic idea. Plus, you should have actually a will to come here and then start afresh, and then use your all your expertise, whichever you have earned in your own country, and put in hard work here, and then you grow. Canada grows, everyone grows. Yes, this is actually basic gist.
And actually, Umesh, I like to add some comments on it, on my experience. Like you said, like why this market is untapped. It's actually even in a real estate. This is a very specialized industry. Like there is in realtor, like we are real estate licensees. Like it's very easy to sell residential real estate, but ask Nathan, is very difficult to sell commercial real estate. Not everybody knows that how to sell strip mall, hotels, grocery stores, marts, gas stations, like anything do with the business or income producing property. Nobody knows how to sell a franchise, how to buy a franchise. This is a big problem. Like how can I explain that? You need to have a lot of information and knowledge, and you have to be specialized. In Canada, we have a different culture. Here is everything is done by the specialist. Like even in a transaction, the notary does the transaction of the commercial real, like a simple, or lawyer do the transfer. Like real estate lawyers are separate, immigration lawyers are separate, corporate lawyers are separate, criminal lawyers are separate, insurance lawyers are separate. So everybody is separate. It's not like one person is doing so much job. So when you deal with the immigration, you need to have a business lawyer knows the business very well, how to register the business. You need a commercial realtor, how to, negotiate the lease, put the lease together, how to do a due diligence properly. Same way, you definitely need an immigration consultant. He knows what to do, what not to do. So it's not easy to just do a business blended information like a program. One person cannot do that. You need a lot of expertise. Otherwise, you're gonna put a client into the ditch. So it's a lot of expertise needs it. And I'll give one example, and we conclude that topic on that. I'll give you only one example. In a local business, when a buyer buys a simple franchise business, example, a pizza, I would say Pizza Hut, example. So in order to make sure this business closes properly, you have to deal with 5 lawyers. You have to deal with a landlord lawyer, who gives the lease to you. You have to lease a franchise lawyer. You have to deal with the buyer lawyer, seller lawyer, and you have to deal with a franchisor lawyer. So in order to close one business, you have to deal with 5 different lawyers. which is for the local people. So that's what it happened. Like smart intellect people across the globe, they're migrating towards the business, but the tools are not there for them. There's no service available for the blended where they have a lot of information, because the information curve kills them. That's why the opportunity gap is huge, is untapped, because it is not accessible, because it has to be accessible collectively. I cannot, as a business advisor, without the immigration consultant, do help our client. The immigration consultant trusts me. Without business broker, without franchise consultant, without commercial realtor, without business projections, uh, cannot help a client towards acquire the business. It's actually blended thing. So
Great,
that's why it was untapped. Yeah.
great. That's great. Okay, so my next question is with actually Rizwan. See, as you said that, as Nitin said also, that there are both programs. We have federal programs in place. We have provincial programs that include both federal and provincial programs include the investment programs, entrepreneur programs. So we have a lower limit, but the upper limit, there is no upper limit. So when it comes to the selection of right business, business brokers tell us that the right business is normally what you have experience with. So that's something very natural. But can you please shed some more light on this? What about the budget? Because what people try to do is they try to get to the lowest level that is acceptable in any program. For example, if a program accepts $100,000 of investment, they are looking for a business that's worth 100,000 or 110, $115,000. So how this strategy works, and at some point they do not, take it very diligently, because they are actually investing this amount, but how would it impact in long run on their business immigration? Because in next 2 years, in next 18 months, they have to provide their performance appraisal. They have to provide their performance appraisal to the government to apply for the PR. So how would that fit in this? Nitin, this question is with you. Can you please go ahead?
Yeah, first we have to actually understand that the limits given in the immigration programs basically are given depending upon the provinces and all. But as a business realtor, we have to see both all the viability of the business, what ROI the business will give. So yes, the limits given in the programs and the actual business, they two have different things. Rizwan Bhai will also actually agree with me. So first we have to actually see the profile of the customer. What is the profile of the customer? What is his need, and how he wants to immigrate, and what business he is looking for. And then we can decide on the limit and all everything which is within the programs. We can first decide on which program suits him, and then we can discuss everything. So every limit is not actually applicable to every individual. So every individual case is different, and we have to see other aspects like viability of the business, ROI of the business, which I already told, and plus what person's profile is. So yes, each and every program gives us a limit and a net worth amount also, but those are just numbers. We have to fit a person in those numbers basically. So we cannot say generalize it that everybody will be actually eligible with $100,000 business. So it
Mhm.
depends on case to case. Where
You know,
this is where our expertise come in, and how we can help the person immigrate.
you
Mhm.
know, as Nathan is right. Actually, whenever we do presentation or we talk to the people, that what is the criteria? So criteria is very simple. You need X amount of money, and you have X amount of experience, and your experience and your money, your capital, you know, like it has to, whatever the business opportunity you go for, that has to sync with you. you know that business has to suit you. Means, like, when assuming the screening body has to look into the opportunity or a case you're going to present, that there should not be a failure. Let's say if you have an experience of trading and you are running, like aeronautical shop, it doesn't work. So, and then what your demographic is, what is your education is, what is your goals, what is your structure, what is your net worth, what is your backup plans, what is your exit strategy, what business plan you write. You have to be, that's why we're telling you, there's a no risk, is all 100% done deal when you go a very smooth, proper way, so that's why the business has to suit the client, and an opportunity has to suit him. And then we're going to make sure it's not a shadow business. Make sure the business, let's say example, I will take a scenario. Let's say a client comes and then we collect his basic information. We collect his budget, where he's comfortable with. What is his liquid cash? What is net worth? What is the movable assets? And what his plans are. And then we'll find an opportunity gap or opportunity according to his experience, his budget, his demographic, and then we propose him 2-3 different alternatives which suits him. Because we have a vision, we have experience in business, we exactly know the culture of Canada, we exactly know where it's coming from, we know what information curves he has to go through, stuff like that. So we offer him 3-4 different alternatives, and then he choose one, and then we build a case on it, different business has a different need of it. Some business is in growth phase, some business is in introduction phase, some business is in a status quo, and then a new entrepreneur is coming. So we have to sync that business plan. We have to craft a business plan, which is actually, it's a very hard job for us to create a business plan for him, which structured like a case, which acceptable in eyes of the screening body that gives. And also in the transaction, it has to be smooth, and then we'll make sure that it has a transition plan, that how he's going to comes in, when he's going to acquire the business, when the lease has to be signed, when he has to put, when he's going to acquire the business, the training, and then goes on and on and on and on. It is a lot of job to be done. So there is no standard. It has to be case to case, file to file. That's why a lot of intellect asset needs to go in. A lot of time has to go in. If somebody says, "Oh, you know what, it's easy, just we applied it," it doesn't work like that. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, you're right. Yes, you're right. It doesn't work like that. If you bring in $100,000 and government is ready to give you a business visa, this is not that. It's not that easy. Basically, the investment is linked with the experience you have, the business profile you are actually coming with, and what future aspects are about that business. So yes, it's all blended. And yes, we cannot create anything. It has to come from you. It's not like that. Yes, that we can create a business visa for you. We can help you get business visa with all the inputs you already have. Plus, we can refine whatever is required as per Canadian government requirement, and then we can help you build your case. We can help you with your business plan, and we can help you with the steps involved in business immigration, like right from your exploratory visit till you get your visa. You get work permits and then visa for your family, for all your children and everybody. So that is actually a lengthy process, you can say. It has steps involved. We can help you in each and every step. But yes, you first have to basically, you can say, synchronize with what actually Canadian government wants. So yes, it's not like that. It is not a transaction basically, like $1 lakh, $100,000 and is equal to business visa. It is not like that. It is basically a blended program, as explained by Rizwan bhai. Yes.
One more thing, last, just for our viewers, audience is, like it's a step, it's a process. And then Canadians are not Americans. Americans are quick in decision making, and the Canadians are Britishers. They like the process. It has to go through the process. And what had happened, let's say they pre-approved it, you get the work permit, you acquire the business, and they have post conditions on it. they have a performance clauses on it. Let's say you get the work permit, you put the money, you acquire the business, and the immigration officer is gonna put a conditions that you're gonna hire 4 Canadians, whatever you wrote into the business plan, and they wanna make sure you perform that business plan. And a lot of people don't identify that thing. It's a process. Is the same leg out of 4 is one of the leg in order to complete that. So after you get the work permit, your residency is not there. So whatever you write into the business plan, some people wrote a wrong business plan, which is it's a dream, but it's at the time of performance that is going to big damage. You cannot perform that thing. So what had happened is jeopardize your career, is jeopardize your file towards the residency. So the post service is there too. So like your performance, your performance agreement is attached with the work permit. You have to perform and fulfill the conditions that will able to get you the residency. You have to file, Nathan will file a different file after this.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Basically, that
point.
A performance agreement between you and the provincial government or federal government is there. It is part of your actually total program.
So that's what it is. Any other question, Uwais?
Okay, that's great. That's great. So yeah, my last question is about how KNAR can help in this Canadian investment programs. You guys define the Canada. You guys define the government support. You guys define the need for investment programs in Canada, and you guys also define the different programs and actually the business immigration ecosystem very well. That was exposed. That was very comprehensive. Now, for example, we have so many attendees with us, and this webinar will also be will be available on demand later on. So we have hundreds of applicants that do not match our time zone, but they will be attending this session later on. So this is a very important question people and attendees would like to know is how KNAR, because you both guys are onboard consultants with KNAR, so how KNAR can help our clients in Canadian investment programs from inception till end. I would like both of you to shed some light on it, please.
First of all, some of our attendees asking questions would like to ask. So no problem. We can reply you on an email in detail, and then some material, whatever your questions are, Q&As. We are not taking online right now, but we will answer your questions via email. Second, how we can help. Honestly, we offer a blended services, a blended service, which is, like a commercial realtor, business broker, franchise consultant, insurance prospective, lending prospective, immigration prospective. So this is a combined, a blended service we give, and then it's a lot of intellect asset, and plus work with like different contractors or connections or team with of lawyers and landlords and franchisors, you name it. So how we can help KNAR is what we do. We welcome a foreignpreneur. Like we look at their information. Guy, let me know, Nitin, if I'm wrong. We'll get the initial information. We do initial assessment of the file, and then on an initial assessment, we give a small proposal, like on the experience, and then we also throw like a couple of alternative solutions or remedy, or you call it whatever it would be. And then if the clients accepts it, and then we'll go with a final assessment, and we give a roadmap with the stepping with the landmarks. So then let's say if it's we do initial assessment and then the proposal and then accept it, then we will do a complete assessment and we establish a roadmap for a specific file or a client, and then do a discussion with them. We put hours into it. We understand the criteria, willingness, capital, so many things. It's a lot of hours needs to be put in. And then after that, we give or is like on the step by step, we'll move forward. Okay. And then is a time to do the acquisition and then the due diligence and then, filing exploratory visit. And then, after that, acquire the business. And now after that, the work permit application and then, like PR application. And after the performance agreement, so it has a process, and then we have all the processes documented.
All the milestones are basically documented and everything is, yeah.
So last thing is we will do a proper investigation on the business. We do assessment, we check their EBITDA, we see the history of the business, we do the like what is the capability of the business, what are the growth in the business, locality of the business, awareness. Definitely, we are specialized in, negotiating the lease of the business and how to handle the asset and what exactly immigration consultant needs in the business plan for that. So we will establish a business plan that will sync in a different perspective. It has to be beneficial. That business plan has to be beneficial for the business, has to be lucrative for the government, and then also it has to be feasible for the client. He can, because he's the one who's going to perform. So we have to establish that business plan, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So we take care of both the things, basically, what is the requirement by client on the business level, plus the immigration requirements of the country. So both are actually taken care of. And then, yes, we have 2 retainers going on with all the milestones given to the client, and then everything is transparent and as per the requirements.
Great. That's great. Thank you so much. Well, thank you everyone. That's all for today. I would like to extend my special thanks and appreciation to both of our panelists for sharing valuable insights with us. Hopefully sooner we shall be conducting similar webinar covering the complex statutory and taxation issues while investing in Canada. I would also like to request our attendees to fill out a quick 2 to 3 minute survey. It will pop up as this session ends. Lastly, if anyone is interested in business immigration programs, we would be more than delighted to set up a one-on-one session with our consultants. You can surely email us at info@kinarventure.com. You will be shortly receiving a follow-up email, so you can obviously, it will contain our email address where you can contact with us, so we can move ahead in setting up your session with our consultant. So well, thank you everyone. Thank you.
Before you go, I really want to make sure that we do respond on some of the questions with Abu Nasir ask, and then some of the questions is Alexandra ask on that. So make sure you, Umez, reply on this, and then definitely further information we'll manage to. So whatever the questions asked, so we will definitely reply you via email.
Obviously, we are receiving questions, so obviously we will be replying later, everyone. And as our discussion start, we will move ahead, inshallah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all the attendees, and thank you, Umez.
Okay, Nathan. Thank you, Umesh. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Nice. Thank you.
Great.